Alas, like a fleeting spectre, Final Fantasy VII Remake has disappeared down the damn hole. The Faith have stopped their dreaming and it's disappeared from existence. What's good, my fellow peasants? How you all doing? Is it time to riot? Is it time to panic? It didn't appear at this E3, and it didn't appear at E3 2016 either. One of the most anticipated games of, well, probably all time. And we're really not seeing anything from it. Now, this was in everyone's prediction, and it really shocked and frustrated a lot of the fans when it didn't come down. Now, some people have been coming out and saying that fans shouldn't have expected a Final Fantasy VII Remake trailer, that we were fools to expect it. I've even seen some YouTubers doing videos saying our expectations are too high. Now, while I kind of agree our expectations are always too high with pretty much every game that ever comes out of Square Enix, our expectations should be by this point 5 to 6 year dev cycles and long periods of silence. It's a bullshit expectation, but it's certainly an expectation we should have from this company at this point. But I really hoped that they would be different with 7 Remake, that they understood the anticipation, that they understood how much this meant to people who had been petitioning and joining remake groups for 10 years. I was one of them. That they would understand that and they wouldn't blue ball us, and that Square Enix would have the common sense to know that huge, long, prolonged periods of silence with this title was going to cause nothing but anger and frustration. That's exactly what happened. I was live streaming E3, and towards day 3, Square Enix Presents, it was just awash with, where is 7 Remake? Where the fuck is it? Oh my god, no trailer. I've watched hours of this shit just to watch a 7 Remake trailer. I'm so frustrated and annoyed. Now, I'm going to say why I think everyone has a right to be annoyed that it didn't come down, and why I think those YouTubers and those people posting that we had too high expectations are totally wrong. Because Square, the evil buggers who I both love and hate, they have been teasing us for 8 months with new information. It goes back to Final Fantasy 15. Before it even came out, they said that we want to show you more how the combat system works, exactly what it is. Exactly what it is. Now, we didn't get anything, it never came down. To this day, we still don't know, bar a few very obscure screenshots that we have to make assumptions and guesswork at as to what the combat system is. Nomura has thrown in some vague interview answers about how it will play and what it will be. There will be a fully action-oriented game. There aren't going to be turn-based elements. They've done, again, some comparisons to like KH3. They said how there is going to be, you can take cover behind things, but there isn't a specific cover system. That materia, it will be a thing, and we will be able to quick switch between our characters, which was the best news I could have heard. That's exactly what I wanted, like Type 0. That was beautiful, but it's hardly the comprehensive breakdown that promised us. Then we go over to January period, when it was coming up to the 20th anniversary. Final Fantasy VII launched in 1997 in Japan in January, and they mentioned things about doing something for the 20th anniversary. Of course, we also thought a 7 Remake trailer would come down. Again, they missed that slot. Then the 30 years of Final Fantasy event came down. We thought, oh, you know, surely they're going to show something here. And again, they gave us the rhetoric throughout all of these months. That's the thing. I think the people are saying that, you know, it was unjustified for us to be expecting at E3. They haven't heard all the rhetoric. Things like Guitar saying we're going to show you something real soon. Like Nomura saying, last year I didn't put out much information on either KH3 or 7 Remake. But this year I want to show our progress at events. So they're really building us up, and then the 30th anniversary happened, and all they did was show us a screenshot. Now, why would you do that, Square Enix? I could understand if, you know, because that's reigniting the flames of excitement, tickling the pickle of the fan base. And so then we go on even further. We went into February, I think it was, yes, for Magic Monaco, and they even had the audacity to give Magic Monaco the green light to have Final Fantasy VII Remake on their homepage. Their homepage, making it one of the flagship, this is what we're going to show off at Magic Monaco. And then it came along and you gave us 2 more goddamn screenshots. Are you serious? I mean, I'm not even mad. I'm actually just impressed. Impressed how you could even manage to tarnish the hype of something like the Final Fantasy VII Remake. But tarnishing it is because people begin to get a bit fed up. So you showed off 2 more screenshots, getting us all hyped, and Nomura actually came out and apologised. He was apologetic about it. He said, quote, "I asked to show a video, but the company refused. So yeah, it was the Square Enix high-ups. They're the ones who stopped Nomura from showing us a trailer he wanted to, and it continued into March and into April, and we had snippets of news information in May. Just such a thin tether of information to the 7 remake that it's not enough to make us feel hyped or fulfilled, it's just enough to make us feel frustrated. That's the thing about it, they've released just enough to keep us thinking about it, but so little that it's actually just aggravating. And alas, after sitting with my bum cheeks puckered and my seatbelt engaged for a 7 remake trailer for over 24 hours of Square Enix Presents, it was grueling. You still didn't show us it. So after that story, for anyone to say that, you know, you shouldn't have expected a 7 remake trailer at E3, you're just goddamn wrong. We should have something by now. At Square, perhaps you could have got away with this with stuff in the past like Versus 13. That had periods of time, you know, we had a 2006 E3 reveal, then it went down a dark hole to re-emerge later in 2008, and then it went down a dark hole again 2011, but we didn't know about Versus 13. You just showed us a hint, a teaser, and you know, that was quite frustrating because there were people who saw that trailer and was quite excited. But with something like the 7 remake, giving the fanbase prolonged periods of silence on the thin tether of a promise that we'd see something is absolutely not the way to go about it. So I really hope they fix that act. I'm still going to stay optimistic because Nomura did say that, you know, he does definitely want to show something for 7 remake at an event this year. So I hope he follows through with that. All I will say is perhaps, and this is just speculation, the reason they didn't show something at E3 was because of the recent CyberConnect fallout. If anyone doesn't know the story, they were working with CyberConnect 2 on the 7 remake, but then Square Enix decided to do it all internally. Perhaps they've had to go back to the drawing board with certain parts of the game, perhaps a part of that is the trailer, or perhaps it isn't. Perhaps Square Enix never intended to show us something at E3 2017, which makes them monumental arseholes, because again, when you keep showing us screenshots and giving us little promises, it's just mean. Why are you so mean, Square Enix? Not much we could do about it, except lower our expectations, because then it'll make the pain a lot easier to bear. Even if they come out again and they promise us another trailer soon, or that they're going to show us something, just take it as a hollow, empty promise, and that they might not actually fulfill it. I've reduced my expectation for a trailer by 77.56%. I've also reduced my expectation for 2018 release by 100%, because looking at all of this, seeing the way all of this is playing out, seeing Nomura is clearly taking his focus over to the Kingdom Hearts 3 side, yes, I don't think that 7 Remake is going to be out until 2019, but as long as it still happens, as long as one day I'm holding a remade version of Final Fantasy VII in my hands, even if it's next to my grandchildren, then I will be a happy man. Broken, certainly, but happy. Until the next video, guys. Keep out!